So first you were tiny, and now you're large.
Yeah, which I don't know
awesome,
how it's
man.
possible. Yeah, I
did it.
Yeah, I did.
Short guys.
I did it. I exist. I guess it's like that's all I accomplished there. But they did talk about it. Hanama coming up next. I think you definitely need to see Shadowburn, make an impact on Genji. I think you need to see, like Johnny say, them really kind of commit to these dives towards the backline.
Yeah.
But I also would agree with Sideshow, where you have not seen their teamwork and coordination really on point. And I think we highlighted for EnVy a lot of the crazy stuff Taimu is doing. I mean, you see a Junkrat, he's going off. Of course, we're gonna go crazy about it. But I think it was really Mickey and Coco with their ultimates. I know in the offensive side for EnVy, Coco with a great Earth Shatter, able to negate some of the support ults for the side of FaZe, and Mickey with a fantastic grab sets up the 3-man Deadeye from Effect. So I think those two have had a fantastic series. Really, making a big difference, right? I mean, we knew the DPS players for both teams is insane, but yeah, it's the teamwork and just coordination from the EnVyUs side. It's really made a difference.
We saw it in the Immortals game last week.
No.
I mean, EnVy, they have so much faith in each other. They could send Mickey on scouting missions with D.Va just because they know he'll be okay, right? Like, they have just so much faith in their teammates. Now,
this isn't going to happen.
We're seeing the compositions here come about, and if this happens,
no.
I will have a brain aneurysm. Freaking hell.
Well, we didn't know if Effect was going to stay with the Bastion. Now that he is dove off the side of the map. Yep, yeah. I think the only surprising thing, maybe you could have seen Taimu on the Sombra. Oh, I was actually not worried. I was actually surprised and excited. But
yes, it was a happy worry.
Yeah. And I think what you're seeing from EnVy here, you're going to have the Sombra, you're going to have chips on the Ana, you're going to have the Reinhardt-Zarya combination with Taimu on the McCree, and they're fully expecting FaZe to get deep, try and dive in, and I think you're going to combat that. Coco with the hammer, you can keep Mickey applying those good barriers on his teammates, and Taimu, all he has to do, flashbang, a headshot, take out Carpe or Shadowburn, swing things in EnVyUs' favor, and you see where EnVyUs is playing, almost all the way back by the point. They're going to give FaZe a ton of space because they almost want to bait FaZe into diving deep.
Oh, they want to for sure because of Chips, right? Chips will have that biotic nade, and as soon as they drop in, and as soon as they try and get aggressive, Chips is going to go in there, not only buff his teammates, but debuff the divers as well. So let's see if that ends up coming into fruition. I think it's really going to rely on Spree to just be able to catch that too. Carpe not feeling all that well here, but they are going to be pushing up. And Carpe versus Effect, does he push for it? Taimu not in the best of spots. He's getting the heals, and look at Chips keeping him alive. That is why Chips is one of the best Anas. I don't know what Reinforced was talking about, because his Ana is so good. And there you have it. Carpe finally falls, and EnVy will get the hold here. Seriously, you had Carpe focusing so much on the McCree.
Yeah,
and Chips kept him alive.
Yeah, Chips did a fantastic job healing up Taimu there. Taimu also able to make it back to the health pack. And I think there you saw, this is exactly what EnVyUs wanted them to do. You dive in deep if you're FaZe clan, then you get Mickey charged up on the Zarya, you're able to chunk through the D.Va mech, then you have Coco just swinging the hammer of Reinhardt, just free will on Fact Fiction, and it's going to be Effect taking out Carpe at the beginning of the fight. Be quickly traded out though. Raucous able to eliminate him. As Taimu now, he scores all the way back. You see how much pressure they're trying to put on Taimu.
Yeah, I mean, you want to remove that DPS there because you got Effect out. Now you just want to handle Taimu, but he will have the Deadeye, and one has to be cautious here because now that the tank is down here, now, oh, there you go. Good job, Shadowburn. Shadowburn, he knows how to play against those McCrees, so good job there. And Mini D.Va out as well. Effect just dancing around, going up against Carpe, and we'll have the health pack to boot and wins that fight out. And this is just a real scrambled attack here from FaZe.
Yeah, but you get both DPS players out of the way, so now EnVy is going to be able to hold on. Fact Fiction, he's diving in because you had Carpe and Shadowburn alive. Carpe is going to switch off of the Tracer. He's going to go with McCree. And here's going to be the big play, Goldenboy. You have both support ults on the side of FaZe Clan. You have a Dragon Blade as well. I think the big thing is when you see that Dragon Blade come out, maybe a Transcendence and sound barrier, Mickey can land one of these great graviton surges yet again.
They're gonna want, oh, they lost out Raucus there. They're gonna need that sound barrier for Shadowburn's Dragon Blade if they end up using it, but both of them are down, and I think they realize it's just not a push that's gonna happen here. No ultimates invested for Envy. They just went about it the old-fashioned way, and they now reset again. 1 minute left, and Envy just, they look so dominant here. It's scary. If you're any North American team in Contenders right now, you're worried about Envy.
Yeah, you had the Deadeye come out at the beginning there for Taimu. He's only able to get 1 kill with it, but it's a big one onto Raucus. You do have the Grav and Pulse Bomb combo, and look at this position effects in. He's right above the sign of FaZe Clan. Mickey can land a huge Grav here. Not going to be good.
Oh, okay. He still takes out Raucus, so that worked out well for them there.
Well, it's huge because now you don't have the second support ult to invest into this fight. You use the sound barrier, and here's going to be the Dragon Blade coming out for Shadowburn. Coco going to get the benefits of the nano boost. It is not enough, though. Shadowburn with 3 kills with the Dragon Blade.
There you go.
That should open it up here for FaZe.
Certainly the push that FaZe needed there, but they put so much into that fight. Good job, really, to take advantage of what you have there. You use that sound barrier to good effect. And then Shadowburn, you know that he's always going to crush it with those blades there. So here we go. On to the second point, on to last as it's called. And Envy knows that they want to push up top, right? You want to maintain control of the high ground there. Graviton Surge comes out. Is there a follow-up? Is there anyone there? No, because the Transcendence was placed by Raucus, or used by Raucus. Brilliant work from him there. You just know that you want to be cautious there. Carpe is going to take out effect now. And this could open things up. But the question still remains, though, will FaZe be able to cap this one in time? Can they at least get 1 tick out of this one? And Carpe on the flank, good job here.
Coming off the spawn, though, for Envy, you do have Coco with the Earth Shatter. You see him there on your screen, just trying to stay alive. There's an Earth Shatter, able to knock down Carpe, but you see all the support coming in, keeping him up for FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan trying to take this second point.
And Carpe has been a man on a mission not to be outdone by any stretch of the imagination. And Taimu's going to use the Mei there, and that's just a great stall tactic. You go right into the ice block, you keep yourself alive. But my goodness, FaZe, they look great thus far. The respawn, though, is going to be very close. So for FaZe, they're going to have to really just, try and get them, like, I guess, staggered here a little bit. And that is going to do it. They do manage to make that cap happen. 2 points on the board for FaZe, but it was looking pretty dangerous there for a while. It went down to the last minute that FaZe were able to capture that first.
Yeah, Envy kind of goes all in when they have that high ground control, and FaZe is trying to get up towards that high ground, up the staircase. Mickey actually jumps off of the high ground, tries to go on that right-hand side, next to FaZe, and drops that Grav down. It was Raucus with a big Transcendence. You had Taimu coming.
It was almost good that Raucus didn't die there earlier.
Yeah,
the first 2 fights.
That's actually a good point, because Raucus, you're like, okay, well, you have the sound barrier and the Transcendence to investigate the first point, point A. Raucus dies at the beginning at the hands to Taimu, so they never actually use the Transcendence there. You have it to withstand the Grav. They are 4 point B. That's a very good point. And I think once you saw that happen, Carpe is able to pick up some kills on the McCree. He gets a good Deadeye in. And then I know Envy never really had a chance. They didn't have any ultimates there. I mean, you had Coco with the Earth Shatter. He's only able to knock down 1 player, and you kind of, at that point, there's nobody else alive for Envy. They're not actually even able to take Carpe out. So I think you saw a very good push there for FaZe Clan. They take both points. You have 2 minutes and 46 seconds left in the time bank.
Check this out.
We'll see what Envy goes with on offense. At least right now, it seems Taimu on the McCree. In effect, will run Genji, so not on the Tracer. Now Carpe will run the Widowmaker. So usually you see more Widow on offense than defense, but I think this may, be a little bit of a shock to the side of Envy.
Yeah, and Carpe is a great Widow. We saw him take a couple faces as well. We've seen him do that in the past, so I'm not too concerned about that. They will have, besides the Widow, nothing all that surprising in Taimu going with his tried and true McCree. Instead of the 76, I think they know that they could just get a little bit more value out of it because Taimu really enjoys playing McCree.
Yeah, now you have effect. He switches off Genji. He's going to go with Tracer. It's what we've seen him on most of the time, whether it's Tracer or Doomfist. I can't recall him running Genji, at least we saw in week 1 for Envy. So see if Carpe can pick anything up here with the Widowmaker.
That is a fantastic angle that Carpe had there, right through the cracks. But they now know that the Widow's going to be there. It's been tagged up as well. And Shadowburn will fall early in this fight here, so you're losing out on a significant part of your DPS.
Yeah, and if you're Envy, you don't mind that trade because Coco's going to get right back into the action. They have such a big spawners advantage here on Hanamura. As you see, a lot of pressure being applied. It was Mickey flying up. Taimu lands the shots there to take out Carpe. So you know Shadowburn's going to be coming off the respawn here for FaZe Clan, but I mean, when
the shot calling, did you see that?
Doesn't matter because I mean Taimu's just ripping faces right now. I mean, look, on Hanamura, if you trade out at the beginning, you're okay with, especially a mobile character like Winston getting right back into the fight because you have such a great spawners advantage. The first kill, obviously, by Shadowburn's big on a Coco, but it's even bigger when Effect takes Shadowburn now, puts him in his grave. Coco comes right back in, and Envy is able to take point A with relative ease.
Now the attack for Envy with 6 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock, and Effect will fall to Carpe. Carpe getting himself 2 there. Again, this is just what you want on your DPS, right? Carpe says, all right, well, obviously the Widow didn't work. Let's go ahead and switch over to the McCree, and he had one heck of a round in the attacking side. So he's looking to kind of channel that same success again. Taimu with the Deadeye. I'm curious to see how he's going to play this one out.
Yeah, and you see Effect switch from the Tracer over to Doomfist, so you heard the devs talk about it. You can use Doomfist to get to this high ground a little bit easier, create space for your tanks. You see he's trying to line up a rocket punch, lands Joe Meister right in the mouth. He's going to get Raucus weak as well. Here comes a Deadeye, and it's going to force the Transcendence out from Raucus.
Yeah, I think this was a really good approach by Envy. Even if they don't make any progress with this, they still forced out those support ults, and they're going to have a lot to work with going into this next fight. Coco just wants to get back as soon as he possibly can, but that's okay. They have 5 minutes and 47 seconds to work with here. So much time and so much to work with for Envy.
Yeah, Envy has both support ults. You have the Primal Rage. You're going to have a self-destruct here. The side of FaZe Clan, though, a Joe Meister just gets the sound barrier. So all you invested into that was the Transcendence from Raucus. Keep himself alive, keep everybody else up in the staircase as the pressure was coming from EnVyUs. I think if Envy goes to that top staircase again, maybe you see Shadowburn pull out the Dragon Blade.
They got a lot of problems. Shadowburn quickly, in my opinion, because if Joe Meister can pop the beat, and now they're going to have a bunch of ults coming online here. Carpe with the Deadeye, so they're just going to have to play this one out, play their safe zones, and not really expose themselves, which is exactly what they do. But they got to be very cautious about Shadowburn and the Dragon Blade, because with that sound barrier, it's going to give them a lot of added protection in the fight. Will FaZe decide to invest into it? I think they will when the going will get tough here. Carpe's getting forced back. There goes the beat. And Shadowburn, any Dragon Blade just yet? He doesn't have a lot of health left, though, as he is getting back into this one. And FaZe still continuing to, try and whittle this down. And now it's going to be the hold. They just want to be able to stall this one out and use Raucus on the Transcendence to do so. Envy responds in turn.
Yeah, but Shadowburn is waiting for the right time here. So now both support ults are out for EnVyUs. Now the Dragon Blade comes out. He gets one, but it's Effect on Doomfist.
Bye-bye, Carpe. You can't seize the day today, my friend. And Envy will get the second tick. And Fact-Fission he dives in with the Doomfist. He switches over. They just want anyone to be able to get in there right now and just get on the payload. But no, it's going to be 4 minutes for Envy to use. And given how that first attack worked for FaZe, you have to be a bit cautious now, because it went down to the wire for them. And I'm sure Envy, figured out some things as they get ready for this next attack.
Yeah, I think right there towards the end, you saw how good Effect could be on Doomfist. FaZe gets exactly what they want, right? Shadowburn's holding onto that blade until they can force enough damage for the Zenyatta Transcendence to come out. We can take a look at the play here. As you see, as soon as the blade comes in, Harry Hook falls, but it's a big kill there. You have him D-Max spree. Carpe is trying to line some shots up. Doesn't even know he's going to get hit with a meteor strike.
No, completely oblivious. Yeah, you know what? That was just brilliantly played.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Oh God, is he going to do this?
Yeah, oh no, he's definitely going to do this. So now you're going to have the Junkrat come back out. And I think, look, just the spamming through the choke, right? If you are FaZe Clan, it's going to be hard to create space for Carpe on the McCree. McCree's kind of slow, right? He can't kind of keep poking around the corner when you have just the constant spam of nades coming out. where it's going to kind of force your diva not really to like dive in, because you're going to have to use the matrix. Yeah, you have to protect the McCree, protect your supports, obviously. So it puts a ton of pressure on Fact, Fiction, and Shadowburn when they dive in. What's great about this for Envy is you also have the Reinhardt-Zarya combination as well here. So when they do dive in, you swing the hammer, you have the bubbles, build up more Zarya charge.
This is very ambitious from Taimu. We know that he is a great Junkrat based on the Eichenwald game, but still a little cautious here because of, it's just, I don't know, whenever I see like defense heroes kind of pop up, even though it's defense, I just get a little worried. But Taimu, he's doing some good damage, and FaZe do manage to make it through, and I think that's actually the first win there for FaZe, just kind of get through and establish himself and try and see if they can get Envy in a really awkward position. They end up losing effect now, so it's really going to come down to whatever it is that Taimu's able to pull off now.
Yeah, and I think Envy, this is kind of what they wanted the first time, where they wanted the pressure to come in. You have the Ryan and Zarya, but you see Taimu not able to get anything going with the Junkrat. Now it's going to put a lot of pressure on Mickey and Coco to hold this down. See everybody falling here for Team EnVyUs. So I know the first hold, not ideal how it was supposed to go there for Envy. So FaZe methodically pushes on in, towards that high ground. It's a big pick by Carpe onto effect at the beginning. You see Taimu going to switch off the Junkrat right away. He will now go over to Widowmaker. As FaZe Clan, they did a nice job obviously taking that point. Decent amount of time left to still take point number 2. They've also got some good ultimates coming online. You got a Sound Barrier, you have the Dragon Blade, and you have a Deadeye from Carpe. You're also going to get very close to Transcendence. So a lot of ultimates here to work with for FaZe Clan in this next fight.
Carpe actually scouted on that fight to see if anyone was going to try and get aggressive up ahead. So they saw, I don't know if you saw the approach there. They're opting not to go for the, for the mid, but even then though, you still have effect being a pain in the neck to any tank that decides to get a little ambitious. But the Dragon Blade maybe here. Joe Meister's going to use the Sound Barrier, and I have to say, and there goes the Dragon Blade. So I guess they were kind of expecting Dragon Blade to come out with the Sound Barrier, but you know what? Shadowburn, he don't need no Sound Barrier. He doesn't need those added shields because he could just do so much damage and manage to protect himself. It does take a Doomfist to stop the Shadowburn. But this is looking fantastic for FaZe thus far. They are on this point. They are in firm control here. No one can make any kind of progress. They're trying to delay it, but Shadowburn is putting on a highlight reel of an attack here as Envy are just going to get desperate onto the point. Coco doing his best alongside with Mickey. Mickey switching over to the Winston to try and engage as quickly as they possibly can. Spree as well will have the self-destruct, and they managed to hold this one off for the time being. So good job from Envy, but significant progress gained for FaZe.
While FaZe puts a lot of ultimates into this fight, they used everything they had. I think one of the biggest things there is right before Chips is about to die, he locates Mickey coming out of the spawn, lands a nano boost on him, and Mickey is able to just stay alive long enough to have some more spawners coming out for Envy, able to hold on. Harry Hook here does have the Sound Barrier for Envy. So you see Taimu now, he has gone over to D.Va just to give them a little bit more meat on the point.
This is cool because you're going to have 2-3 tanks here to just try and sustain on the point and see if they can get to the overtime and then push them back. And also, Taimu really harassing from the back line, so this is not going to give Carpe that opportunity to be able to push in. The Deadeye is going to come out. Does he find himself a shot with this, though? Look at that. Oh, man, that was actually a really good defense matrix to just get right in his face. Fact Fiction is going to be super low on the health as well. Effect needs to be able to take him out here. They want to be able to deal with Spree as well. Eliminate the tanks, you eliminate everyone. All right, everyone, sorry about that. It's, it seems like we just got hit with an EMP over here. Hey, that's how to go with that line.
I knew you were going to say that.
I'll take it.
Just got to get it in there.
You just got to make it happen. Anyway,
sorry.
This has never happened before. I'm sorry, guys. But it's okay because you know what? The good news is actually in that fight, we ended up pausing it and all the players were completely understanding of the situation. And what ended up happening in that fight there, X?
Yeah, so Envy, we're going to pick this up with now Envy on attack. So Envy was able to hold off FaZe on point B. We saw Mickey switch over to a D.Va. They had actually like 3 tanks there towards the end. No, actually it was Mickey on the Zarya. You had it was Coco running Reinhardt, and then you had Taimu running the D.Va. And Carpe was trying to land a big Deadeye, and Taimu got right in his face, ate it all up. And now when we get right back into game, I believe one player in the bathroom. I know the fight that just happened. EnVy just kind of ran in, got on the point. They were there for an extended period of time. Now they're not able to get a full tick. You had Shadowburn using a Dragon Blade. I believe he was able to get 3, it looks like. So he's able to get 3 with the Dragon Blade. We'll come right back into action. EnVy very close to getting support ults. It looks like you have Chips 90% of the way to Transcendence. Harry 94% of the way to Sound Barrier. You have both support ults. I know Joe Meister with Sound Barrier for FaZe. You have Raucus getting close to it as well. And EnVy has 2 minutes and 41 seconds left on the clock.
So there you have it. Recap with Mr. X.
Yeah.
And so once again, we apologize so much for that. But you know what? Hey, when you have a lot of things going on, things happen. And that's okay because we're going to start the game in just a little bit. The game will be starting up in a few. Overall, proud of FaZe here. They really pushed far on that one. They got 77.5% on the second point.
Very close.
And they were, and as you recapped before, they were able to hold off EnVy's first push here, which is big because of how much time EnVy has to play with, X.
Yeah, it was the first 2 pushes, really, that FaZe was able to hold off. The first one, EnVy comes in right through the gate. They try and go for the high ground, and it was Carpe who was able to take out Effect. Effect going on the Tracer, trying to get a pick on the flank. Carpe was able to take him out, and then everybody from FaZe just kind of pushed up their staircase and met EnVy at the top, was able to win that engagement. And the second fight is the one I just talked about, where EnVy was able to get towards the point. Then you had Shadowburn use the Dragon Blade.
Yeah, just shut them down completely. So this is going to be quite intense for EnVy here. And one thing to take a note of, there's no fooling around, right? I will say, kind of going all the way back, and everyone saw it, I believe, was the Junkrat?
Yes.
I respect the approach. I respect what Taimu was shooting for there. But it really relied on Effect to be a pain in the neck in the back lines so that Taimu can cause problems with the grenade launcher. Just didn't work out.
I also think if you're EnVy, you're just having a little bit of fun in this match. You've been so good. You get Taimu happy. If he wants to play Junkrat, that's going to make him happy. Let him play Junkrat.
Yeah, let's make the people happy. Speaking of happy, we're back in the game, folks. Here we go. As the players are ready to go, once again, EnVy will make their next attack. They're going to have Effect on the Doomfist now.
Yeah, you saw Taimu there right away. He was able to take out Carpe. Now, Carpe is going to come up to spawn. He has Deadeye, but this is a good opportunity for EnVy. You have such a great spawner's advantage. Try and get towards this point. You got both support ults. You have a Deadeye of your own. Here's going to be a Deadeye coming out from Taimu. He's able to just push everybody from FaZe Clan back, and just look at this play from Mickey. Just putting so much pressure on the back line. Well, he forces out a Transcendence there, and you just eat up that Deadeye.
Yeah, that was so well done by the D.Va for EnVy. And really, you got to be super impressed with that one. Mickey on his own was able to remove 2 ultimates from the equation. Taimu just wants to stay alive here, but goodbye, Cowboy. And FaZe are going to hold this one off for the time being, as the last person left alive on the point will be Mickey, but they will make short work of him.
Yeah, Mickey's going to go off the side, wants to spawn with the rest of his teammates. EnVy uses both of their support ults, same on the side of FaZe Clan. So you have that Dragon Blade that's going to come into play here for Shadowburn. They're just going to wait for that prime opportunity to use it. EnVy does get a tick. They're running out of time here, Alex. Only 1 minute and 15 on the clock.
This could be the game that FaZe takes, and Shadowburn wants to dive into the back line with the blade, but he's going to get called out, though, and super weak, too, so he's going to have to wait for a little bit more health. He doesn't have any support ults to be able to help him out with that. If they take out Shadowburn, you're going to lose out on that Dragon Blade, and that could really hurt the defense for FaZe. They will have Joe Meister with the beat, and there goes the beat. It has been dropped, but no one from EnVy just yet pushing. They're going to see if they can wait out the shields, and Shadowburn's going to go down, but it will be a trade, so DPS loss on both sides, but they don't have a D.Va, and now here comes the full push, and this is looking like EnVy are going to be able to make this one happen here, and it's looking really good, X.
That is a fantastic trade. You'll take that all day if you're EnVyUs. Both support ults, but it's really Taimu able to take out Shadowburn. It's a huge kill. Shadowburn still has that Dragon Blade. You'll have it for the next fight. But with Envy, with about 20 seconds left here,
They have no time to work with.
you see the percentage climbing up. They will be able to take point A. Can they get anything going here on point B? They'll get a little bit of time. You see that golden tick there. So you do have Coco with the Primal Rage. Should be able to stay alive for a decent amount of time. Raucous, though, with Transcendence. And you have that Dragon Blade still here for FaZe Clan.
Let's see how they play this out. 25 seconds left on the clock here, folks. Envy, I mean, again, this team has such incredible teamwork that I wouldn't be shocked if they pull this one off. That's how ridiculous they have been in recent memory. And the push is going to start now. 10 seconds left on the clock. Effects playing the high ground alongside Mickey. D.Va self-destruct coming through to try and hold everyone off the point. They're going to need to get a body there as soon as possible, but Shadowburn's going to cut through the lines, and now this is where the scramble is going to begin. Shadowburn, while he was able to take out Chips with that one, now he's looking to just follow this one up with some more left and right clicks. They're going to focus them out of the point. Mickey, he's by himself. They're forced out. As a matter of fact, another member as well from Envy. Didn't quite catch who it was, but I think that's just going to be curtains here for Envy, and the Meteor Strike will not come down. The Tracer couldn't get there in time, and FaZe will take a game here on Hanamura 2-1.
Yeah, and the self-destruct from Spree forces members of Envy back. They combine that with the Dragon Blade. You only had Mickey on the point for an extended period of time for Envy. Yes, perfectly timed there out of FaZe Clan. So you see, they will take map number 3 in this series.
Play of the game.
So the play of the game comes from Shadowburn. Most likely with this Dragon Blade at the beginning of their attack.
That's the one where he, this actually is just all Shadowburn. Does he use the blade here? No. This one? Oh, no, this was, he just went to, he just went to town. All right, I respect that.
As soon as you see a Genji play of the game, you always assume there's a Dragon Blade there.
Always. But hey, it's Shadowburn, and he can get away with it. All right, folks. Well, that's going to be 2-1 in the count here, as Envy's still up in the series. If you're just joining us, this is our first match of North American Contenders. Coming up next, we're going to have Envision go up against Immortals. Certainly looking to be an interesting matchup. We'll dive more into that later on. But for this game here, well, you know, FaZe, I think a lot of people wrote off FaZe on 2CP on the Assault. They are able to take the game.
This has been a very close series. I know Eichenwald, I think, comes down to a lot of good timed ultimates from the side of Envy. You saw their great teamwork come into play. Now, map number 1 goes the distance.
That's true. I'm actually shocked Envy won it, to be honest with you.
FaZe was making a big difference with the Pharah Mercy combination, but you go into that close-quartered point. You're not able to get a lot of things going. You have Effect do a nice job with the Doomfist, and you're able to pull that one out if you're Envy. Then you see how close this one is for both sides, as FaZe is able to pull this out. This has been a very close series. I expected Envy to come in and just kind of roll through FaZe Clan, but I think you've seen FaZe Clan. If they can get on the same page, time some ultimates a little bit better, this is a team that definitely can contend for the top season.
A lot of people expected that. A lot of people expected this to be a 4-0, right? I think everyone on the desk was kind of writing off FaZe, and don't get me wrong, I don't think that they were wrong in that assessment, because given how the games worked out, EnVyUs' superior teamwork coming into play, the ridiculousness of the Junkrat in Eichenwald, which I don't think anyone would have expected, Effect given how good he is, but FaZe really able to pull themselves up from the bootstraps and get to work here. And also, hey, I'm going to be honest, I do believe that Envy were a bit too overzealous with that Junkrat defense pick. It made sense, but they lost Effect so early in that fight that it really hurt them in the end. I think a 76 or a McCree could have helped them there.
Yeah, I think the idea behind the Junkrat is that FaZe never really adjusted and made a difference. And maybe you use the Junkrat and trying to bait Shadowburn off of his Genji, like force him to go with the Pharah Mercy combination. Maybe you feel more comfortable if you're Envy with him not diving on your backline as that Genji player. So maybe a little bit of a mind game there from EnVyUs. It doesn't work out. He stays on the Genji. He's able to make some plays. Looks like the last map in this set will be Watchpoint Gibraltar, with FaZe Clan with a chance to force this to a 5th game, which I think would definitely be a pleasant surprise for everybody. But I think you're just seeing the potential of FaZe Clan. They have some very strong DPS players, like Carpe and Shadowburn. Joe Meister, a very strong in-game leader, very good Lucio player. Then Fact Fiction, a very good tank as well.
We don't really get to talk about the supports that much, as far as like their influence in-game as well. It's always a discussion of like the ultimates and, and whatnot. But really, Joe Meister, I've had plenty plenty of opportunities to talk with the guy. He's a
Very smart guy.
brilliant player when it comes to Overwatch. Now, if we're kind of shifting focus to EnVy, and I know this is going to sound a little crazy.
Okay.
But on defense,
I'm preparing myself. Okay.
I don't think it's like that crazy, but I mean, it could be. I don't know. I would like to see the solo support and put Harry Hook on the 76 because you're expecting to dive. You're expecting to dive. So and Chips is so damn good as Ana. I mean, you saw the play earlier, folks. He had Taimu dead to rights, and he's just shot. So like, it's really good. I don't know. Maybe they could get a little creative here.
We saw them do it on Volskaya last week, where they had that triple DPS setup. Obviously, Sombra, is secondary support, where you're able to just hack the health packs, regen for the rest of your team. I don't know if you'll see it here on Gibraltar.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's more of like a first corner play, right, to just try and see if they can hold him off a long time. Again, kind of like theory crafting here. I don't think it's going to happen, but I'm saying it would be cool to see that happen.
Well, I think if you're going to play further back, in by that server room, I guess you could see that happen if you're EnVy. But so many teams, they play so close to the initial corner, the initial bridge, that there's not really a great opportunity. I mean, I guess you can hack the opposing health packs. You can really try and push up, but that is super risky. I think if you're EnVy here, if you're on offense, I think, don't be surprised to see Taimu on the Widowmaker. We saw him at Watch Point Gibraltar last week. He had that sweet triple headshot play against Immortals.
Yes.
FaZe Clan will start things out, though, on defense here to kick things off. And I know nothing too surprising out of them. You're going to see them go with Shadowburn on Genji, Carpe on Tracer. And then I know everybody else kind of tried and true, pretty trusted with how they've gone out the rest of, the maps here. I mean, we've seen Carpe, run the McCree, but really this has been the standard comp out of FaZe Clan.
Indeed it has. Just a reminder, folks at home, EnVy will be on the attack. We'll make sure we get that, taken care of in a little bit here. And Carpe, he's going to hang back. He's trying to wave to some people. Oh, there's no one there for you to wave to, Carpe.
Just trying to see what they're doing.
Nah, I think he just wants to wave. Just the obnoxious tracer wave that everyone does, I'm sure you do that too.
Oh, I do.
All the time.
I do. As a Tracer Genji player exclusively, that's kind of my thing. I just lurk around the spawn. I try and kill supports. It'll be a nuisance. Okay, so here's something interesting. Taimu switches off of the Widow, and we're going to see some Roadhog action. Okay.
All right.
Big Daddy coming out.
Okay, so this could work for... I'm going to try real hard here. This could work to see if they could displace any of the tanks. And then, because they have great teamwork, great communication, they then just focus on whoever gets in front of them. Or maybe someone dives in and gets a little too greedy, and then they can punish with the hook and then kill them almost instantly.
Well, Taimu is a fabulous Roadhog. It's just Roadhog has kind of fallen out of the meta. As
you're not going to get those
but
one-shots.
Yeah, so you see at the beginning, he was just kind of playing a little bit further back, and maybe they tried to bait a support or one of the tanks around the corner for the side of FaZe Clan. You could have gotten a nice hook.
Yeah, this is just not a fight here that I don't think FaZe are going to be able to win out on, or at least keeping him alive. Kudos to Rockus, though, for bringing out the assistance with the Discord Orb. And Carpe with that bomb. And the thing is that hitbox for Roadhog is so huge that if you don't hit a pulse bomb on a Roadhog, it's almost like, what are you doing, man?
So you see he just runs Roadhog at the beginning. It'll be Taimu switching over to McCree. So I think that's just
that was
pick.
First corner.
Yeah, it was a pick at the beginning of the game. See if you can hook one of the tanks at the beginning of that first corner. And I mean, it starts to go well for EnVy, so they stay on it. It'll be Carpe taking out Effective. We talked about how great Effect was last week. Carpe really taking it to him here in this matchup. I think he's played very well. I think if you look at FaZe Clan, the biggest difference in this matchup for them, which is really kind of, I think, giving them an advantage, but it's giving them a fighting chance against a very strong EnVy team. It's really been Carpe.
I think Carpe was a little mad that the desk, undersold him. I mean, that's of course assuming that he knew what they were saying. So
he's Carpe. A 6.5 out of 13.
But you know what? I do not blame the desk for that. Given how the FNR GFP game went, and they really didn't feel like Carpe had a lot there. So I do understand the assessment. But now EnVy, they're going to drop the beat and try and see if they can push this fight forward in their favor. But the sound barrier will be nullified, and that's going to be a rival sound barrier on the other side for FaZe, as well as a Transcendence use, and they're gonna lose out on Joe Meister here. Fact Fiction just chasing after kill. Shadowburn as well. Dragon Blade, does he get what he wants with this? No, gets shut down by Effect, and that's why they have Effect as one of the top tracers in the game because of the plays that this man makes, and they're going to cap it, and they're just going to get right in their face right away. See if they can force them back and play more to their advantages and just put that aggression that FaZe just can't quite seem to deal with at this moment.
Yeah, and it was a great play by Effect to stay alive. FaZe Clan got what they wanted. Shadowburn put a lot of pressure on Chips, got him to use the Transcendence early, then they bring out the Dragon Blade. Was not able to pick anything up. Carpe is able to land a pulse bomb there onto Mickey, D-Mech him. So now you have Mickey out of his suit on D.Va, and you have Taimu now on the 76. We'll see if Envy can get any high ground. So let's Taimu cause a lot of problems.
Yeah, that is what you want here at the second phase in Watchpoint Gibraltar. You simply want to be able to get high ground control because it's so tough to play out of that. Envy, they just wipe the floor with FaZe. And now they're going to push this payload forward. What do they have to work with? They are going to get a sound barrier in just a little bit. That could help them in this next fight. I wonder how Mickey's also going to play this. Is he going to get a bit more aggressive as well in the front of the top left door where it seems like FaZe wants to push?
You do have Coco with the Primal Rage. Could knock some of these players back. Effect up top with a Pulse Bomb. See if he can connect on anybody. He tosses it out, tries to connect on to Shadowburn. You do have Harry Hook with the sound barrier. We'll see if it comes in here. Self-destruct for Envy.
And Effect is going to take out Shadowburn, so they're going to lose out on a lot of DPS. And with that, they're going to drop the beat. And then, you know, it's kind of like mirror. They flip-flop here with the beat dropping and then the Transcendence for FaZe. We saw that happen earlier, but Envy were able to come out on top because they were able to use that Transcendence and out Taimu with the Tac Visor. You want Shadowburn. Shadowburn is super weak as well, but he's going to be playing far back here. They lose out on their tracers, so their backline's going to feel good. Chips, he can handle himself, man. I mean, I respect Taimu for the help, but he's going to give him the kick to the face, and this is going to be the second pickup here for Envy. Final ahead.
Yeah, and you see it in the feed. Raucus actually spawns right at this second point here. Does not get that far back spawn, and Mickey just boots him all the way off the back of the map. So now you're going to have to wait for Raucus to get back into the action. It's going to allow Envy to get some space here, potentially around the corner.
They want to get around this corner.
And it's huge, because if you can create space for Taimu here on the 76, and he has free reign to do what he wants, it's going to get ugly for FaZe Clan.
This is not looking pretty. They managed to just bring the payload around the corner, and that means that the safe zone that FaZe wants to play out of, that's just going to go further back. And Effect, he's been such a dominant player in this game, losing out on Fact Fiction, the tank, and the tracer. I mean, Effect has been winning this battle in the latter parts of this game. The Shadowburn, Genji Blade once again, but 31 health, 55. He's getting the health back here little by little. He does get the protection, but he does not get the amount of kills that I'm sure he would have liked. And here comes Envy marching to payload.
Yeah, it was a great play by Coco. Pops the Primal Rage, able to knock Shadowburn back. They did not have any support ults at that moment in time. Here comes the sound barrier from the side of Envy. It's going to be a Transcendence from the side of FaZe Clan. You're getting very close to Taimu, getting that Tac Visor. It's going to be a Pulse Bomb comes out for Effect. You're able to deal with Raucus. Here comes the Tac Visor, though, for Envy. Taimu's trying to locate some players from FaZe Clan. It gets eaten up by Spree. So now he's just trying to locate this one player on the flank.
And look how far back. I mean, that's actually wasn't... That was just Shadowburn having to be back there because he didn't want to get focused down with the Tac Visor. So he's going to be out of the action, and when he comes back into it, he's going to get shut down. So he needs to make plays, and that's exactly what Shadowburn does when you need him to make plays. But there, right, have it. You gotta love the Dragon Blade from Shadowburn, but it just isn't enough, baby. And that's going to be Mickey closing out Shadowburn, getting themselves 3 points, and Envy looked really good on that final approach there. I give a lot of credit to those, to that early aggression that Envy put. Each time they capped, they forced them back. They forced FaZe back, and that put FaZe in a really uncomfortable position.
Yeah, I think it was a big play by Coco. You know, he had that Primal Rage. You had just used a Transcendence, so you didn't have that support ult for the side of Envy. Shadowburn knows that. He pulls out the Dragon Blade, but the Primal Rage just gets in his face, knocks him back to that other side of the bridge, and he was so low health, he really didn't have a great option. He's like, okay, do I go in and die, put myself in the spawn, Or do I just kind of fall back and give myself a better option with the rest of my team to come back in the fight?
Exactly. It was a good decision from Shadowbird.
I agree, yeah.
It was, because, or you're just going to get picked off by the tack visor, you know? And you don't want to be just going out there willy-nilly, especially in one of those dire situations. And a Genji coming out of that spawn is really tough to deal with. But anyway, let's see how EnVy are going to deal with the attack from FaZe.
When you're right, Goldenboy. Taimu running the Sombra. Harry will be running the
look at that.
76.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
It's not often it happens, but lightning strikes every once in a while, right?
You know what, dude? I've been...
No, you've been on point, though. You've been on point.
I've been putting in the work, baby, you know?
You've been just picking everybody that nobody wants to pick, and you're just making it work, but...
Okay, I will say the Envision one was luck. The Kingarna one was research. I stand by that. I stand by it.
It's like, all right, I'll attribute 1 to luck, 1 to skill. What did this one come down to?
I've already used my luck pick. I have nothing left to give. Oh, boy. Okay, so we are going to get the solo support for EnVy, and that's going to be Chips really anticipating the dive from FaZe. And FaZe, they like to get super aggressive. And Carpe, though, we've also seen Carpe on Widow just take faces. So another exciting player here, but they're going to have to be cautious about this if you're EnVy, because they're going to be playing back on the high ground, and I wonder how FaZe are going to punish.
Carpe just trying to get some vision on the EnVy players. At least at this point, it doesn't seem like they have any idea that the Sombra is in play. And they actually get Mickey demech'd here. So Mickey's playing on that corner, going to take some damage, trying to get back to the rest of his team. Not able to get back in time. So Taimu gets very close to falling there as well. Carpe going to get up top here, set up on the Widow. See if he can get some picks.
Yeah, Harry Hook does build up a lot of tack visors. So what they want here is they want that tack visor on the high ground, and then they want Chips to be able to get nano. The issue is, I don't know if they're going to be able to build that up in time. So you're going to look for Taimu in effect to really try and buy time for EnVy so that they can build up on those ultimates.
Well, Taimu's done a fantastic job just not allowing the cart to just move up freely. He's just kind of going invisible as Sombra, getting it onto the cart, getting some picks, and there you see an EMP come in for EnVy at the beginning here. So Taimu's going to be able to take out both supports. And you see Harry just taking shots at Carpe at the top, not letting him get that free picks on Widow. So I know it's kind of like a way where Harry's almost protecting Chips, right? Because Chips wants to stay on that high ground with Harry Hook. Obviously, Chips does not want to poke out, get nailed in the face by Widowmaker. So Harry just landing those shots at range. Taimu, the big EMP, though. The first fight here will go in favor to EnVy.
Yeah, and Harry had the AoE healing as well as the healing for Chips, so that was a tough one.
Mickey demech'd again.
Oh, yeah, well, I think they're going to be okay, though, because they got what they want out of this. Mickey will be able to get back into the fight very quickly, and with Effect doing what he's doing right now, this is causing a huge problem. They could take out Spree. That will give them free reign to be able to use that tack visor, but brilliant use of the beat. Joe Meister had to drop it. He had to make it happen, and now it's going to be Taimu with the EMP. Does he decide to use it? I think there are enough bodies there on the point that he can use EMP and they can clear him out. Spree's health is just going to get absolutely melted now. Fact Fiction half health as well. There goes the self-destruct, forcing everyone back. Effect knows that they're going to have right targets right in front of them, and they're just going to continue to play this one out because they have the capability to be able to make this happen. Harry Hook with the attack visor as well, and thanks to the work with Effect, gets that kill there, and they're going to lose out on the tank support. And I give credit to EnVy for continuing to just engage in this fight and putting FaZe in some real odd positions.
Yeah, the way EnVy is even in this fight is before Chips falls, lands the nano boost on a Coco. He's able to stay alive along with Mickey. As soon as the nano wears off, what happens? Coco uses Primal Rage, stays on the point even longer, and then EnVy gets players back into the action. They hold on here. And FaZe, they invested a ton into that fight. You had a Dragon Blade. Now you have Carpe switching over to the 76. He's able to pop a tack visor here at the beginning. It's going to get eaten up, but under a minute to go, Goldenboy. Here comes the sound barrier from FaZe Clan.
And I think this is the push FaZe wants here. The sound barrier will give them so much shields, and they will eliminate EnVy, but it took so much work for FaZe to be able to make that one happen. And here's the thing, you have Harry Hook on the 76 here. I get a little worried because if you give him that high ground control, he can really shred.
It's going to be a battle between EnVy and FaZe, who can get their 76 set up in a prime position. You see Carpe has so much to deal with here. You have Harry on top, nano boosted. You have Effect putting pressure on you. You know, EnVy contesting the cart here. So I know you were not able to get much of anything here if you're Carpe. Now you have some players running towards you, but now you get hit with an EMP. So now you're forced to back out.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed too, they used Nano and then delayed the tack visor because I think they were hoping to be able to bait out something if FaZe did have it. But still though, FaZe, they're going to continue to progress the payload forward now, and I think Carpe smells blood. He saw someone above. I don't know who that was quite yet, but I'm sure we will figure that out. You saw Mickey on the sidelines too. Carpe's going to be hanging out above. And now with the high ground, this is when you get a little concerned for Envy, and I think they might be able to make this point happen here. If they're able to use this, the Nano Boost is going to come in as well, and that's just going to absolutely shred Chips. So they're going to lose out on their healing, but Harry Hook as well switches to that Lucio to try and keep them in this fight, but I don't think it's going to matter all that much because Carpe now continues to march down forward. It's going to be a desperate attempt here from Envy to be able to hold this one off. You have Mickey, who is just all over the point, just trying to defense matrix and eat up as many shots as they possibly can. But this is going to be all FaZe as they will put the payload into the second point. Good work from them. They shut them down at the front door, and that's the second going to FaZe.
And now FaZe has gone to a triple DPS setup with Raucus on Tracer. So this is interesting. It may have just been for the end there to try and push the payload on through, but yeah, so you have Raucus switching over to Ana, so you had him as, I know, Zenyatta for a little bit. Now you're going to get him as Ana. Use the Tracer to probably just secure that point. And now you had Taimu playing Reaper there for a little bit, you know, putting a lot of pressure on Effect, right? He has to get to that back line if you're going to run the Reaper. Here comes a push for Envy. They don't want to give up any space to FaZe Clan.
And Shadow burns Dragon Blade. I mean, you can say it so many times. He will find a kill with it. It's very rare when the Shadow Burn can't get a pick with the Dragon Blade. But, you know, unlike what we saw before with Envy, they were not able to make that payload go so quickly here. Remember, they have 2 minutes and 12 seconds to work with. Carpe is going to get shut down by Chips, and that is a major pickup there. There goes the self-destruct, just trying to keep them out. That was kind of a blind self-destruct there. Fact Fiction, he just wants to bully people around the point. Pops Primal Rage, wants to work with Shadowburn here to see if he can get anyone, you know, disoriented and eliminated. And FaZe just gonna have to reset here, but they're diving again, X.
Yeah, and they actually pick up 2 kills at the beginning of this. You have a Sound Barrier and Nano Boost for EnVyUs, but look at how aggressive FaZe is being, pushing Envy all the way back into their spawn. What can Envy do to get back to the Cardelia? Nano Boost onto Coco as he dives deep.
Oh, that is a great dive too, because that Nano Boost is going to keep him in the fight and doing so much damage. Shadowburn's going to be super close to the Dragon Blade as well. I'm anticipating that he's going to bust that out as soon as he gets it because of just how crazy this fight is going. He knows that he can really revel in the chaos, but he's going to get sleep darted there by Chips right before he dies. So that was a good stop. Oh man, Shadowburn wakes up and then blades out. Gotta love it there. Self-destruct as well, but they won't be able to get the kills. They're going to come back into respawn. It's going to be so close here that Envy can contest this one consistently.
Yeah, Envy gets back on the cart. It'll be a self-destruct coming out from FaZe Clan. Going to clear this out a little bit, give them some space to reset. It'll be Shadowburn demeching Mickey. Just looking for the supports here. Shadowburn just trying to build up towards that Dragon Blade. Finds Baby Diva, able to take her out. Now it's going to be Carpe with attack visor, able to connect onto the players of Envy. This is looking great for FaZe Clan as they're marching the payload towards the end.
Spree's going to try and body block the front door, and they're going to be able to make it happen. 3 points for FaZe. And, you know, after a little while, it becomes very challenging to hold off on the defense because you really only have one good option to exit out of. If you want to contest the payload as quickly as you possibly can. And everyone knows exactly where that door is. So you just put bodies on the point and you just literally rain bullets down through the door and they can't come through.
Yeah, I mean, both teams just trading good ult usage there. I believe, I don't know if we caught it, but when FaZe actually sound barriers around the corner there, it was Chips actually landing a 6 sleep dart up to Fact Fiction up top. He goes up on top of the bridge on the Winston.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he's just trying to get that damage down underneath the cart, right? Trying to force players back. And as he jumps up, Chips hits him with a sleep dart. And then as soon as he gets up back into the fight and Shadowburn pulls out his blade, Chips lands another sleep dart there on a Shadowburn who had the blade out. I believe he was nano boosted as well. So 2 fantastic sleep darts. Not enough though for Envy on defense initially. They will go back to this same composition they ran with Taimu on the Sombra They will have. I think if this will work, this will work. You just can't have Mickey get demeched right at the beginning. He got demeched so fast last round, twice. Once over here at the corner, and then once at the other side of the bridge. If he doesn't get demeched, this may work out better for Envy.
Taimu hacking that mega health as well down below. If they're able to kind of force them back, they're going to anticipate that that mega's there. I mean, surely they think Taimu's going to run with the Sombra, so maybe they're not putting too much stock into that. But you also saw, they end up losing on chips early on. They anticipated the solo support, and that it was just a beautiful read there. But they do take out Shadowburn, so they lose out on the DPS for the time being. They just want to get around this first corner as quickly as they possibly can, and they do so. So that was a success for FaZe.
Well, look, Envy's still in control of this game, right? I mean, they have 2 minutes on the clock. You have Taimu on the Sombra. He's able to just contest the card. It's a nice sleep dart lands on a Harry Hook up top. You see the bionic grenade going to come in. Fantastic play there by Raucus, able to land that sleep dart at range.
It's called teamwork, baby. And you got to love when you see it happen. But they do lose out on Winston now. Oh boy, in effect with the pulse bomb on Shadowburn. So Shadowburn really hasn't been able to get a groove going on in this fight. Carpe, he's just going to be so weak and will fall immediately. 1 second left on the clock here. They're going to take out the Diva. Joe Meister's going to be by himself, and they are going to stop this payload right here in front of the first point, so they don't get anything. They only get progress now. That's going to wipe them out, and it's just going to be a desperate attempt to just get back into the action. But you see the overtime ticker just wearing down, and no one can get to it. That is going to be Envy with the stop. Good work from the boys in blue. FaZe, they tried to make as much progress as they can. They got stopped as soon as they came out under the car wash.
You had a good start for FaZe, right? I mean, you're able to take out chips at the beginning. Then it was Raucus with a fantastic sleep dart on a Harry Hook up top. You just had the contest coming in from Taimu. You're not able to advance that cart very far. So now it'll be EnVyUs' turn on the attack. They have a chance to close this series out in 3-1 fashion. What we saw from them on attack the last time was we saw Taimu on Roadhog, just trying to see if he can get one of these tanks from around the corner, or maybe, Shadowburn just a little bit.
Anyone who tries to challenge the corner. That's really, anyone who tries to challenge the back line. I think Taimu is just, he's thirsty for the hook. He wants to be able to get it. It didn't quite work out last time, but they were still able to push the payload further. So I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And we'll see if they stick with Mickey on the Zarya. You can obviously, Taimu's going to be a huge target literally on Roadhog, where, I mean, if you apply barriers to him, right? I mean, DPS players love to
He's an ult battery.
Yeah, he's an ult battery, right? So, I mean, maybe you kind of use that as bait, but it'll be Taimu not going to go with the Roadhog here. He'll be going with 76, which I know usually we've seen him, throughout this series really, prefer McCree over the 76. So we'll see him on Soldier at the beginning of this one.
Well, he's a great 76.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
I think either way, you're going to get the self-healing as well. And what's interesting as well, FaZe not running a Tracer here because when it's defense, right? Like, I think they're more focused on being able to hold out the line than anything else, and they're not playing around this first corner. They want to take the fight under. I'm a little concerned about this, but hey, you know what? At FaZe, they are the pros. They have the strategy.
Well, to be fair, I mean, now that Envy does not have Diva, you don't have the defense matrix to just kind of soak up a lot of the damage that 76 puts out. But yeah, the payload's so close to being put in. And Envy still, 1 minute and 30 seconds to do it. You see, as soon as Mickey gets charged, he's trying to get Spree demech there. So close to doing so. It'll be effective. It'll take out Joe Meister at the beginning.
Yeah, they lose out on healing. They lose out on Spree on the Diva as well. And this is bad news for FaZe. And they're just going to try and play around this here. They're going to need their Winston to be able to show up. Factfiction's at low health. They're losing players, and they're so close to the yellow box of victory. But FaZe will be able to answer back. They have less than a minute to work with. There goes Transcendence as they try and push them back, and they're going to wait this one out because they have a little bit of time to play with.
Yeah, if you're EnVyU back up here, you just baited the Transcendence out. You can't panic. You still have 45 seconds. You have the Pulse Bomb, and you have a Tac Visor. You're going to have a Transcendence and a Sound Barrier of your own. We'll see how Envy decides to play around this. Coco on the payload.
They lost Spree again.
Tac Visor.
They lost Spree again, and that was that opening that they needed. They go in with the Tac Visor. They don't have to worry about the defense matrix as well. And they're going to lose out on Shadowburn too. And Joe, he does not pop the beat. No, he's at 99%, and that is absolutely painful there for FaZe. They're so close, they can smell it. They just got to take out Fact Fiction right now, and they make it happen. The boys in blue get 4 on the board, and that is the victory for EnVyUs.
Yeah, it's just the pressure that Mickey was applying onto Spree. The Zarya versus the D.Va gets her low. Effect comes in with a pulse bomb. D-Mech Spree. As soon as that happens, you see EnVy use a Transcendence, push all the way through. And EnVy able to complete that second point there. I know, complete the map there, able to get to that golden box. Take the series 3-1.
Wow, what a game there from both sides, really. When you think about it, here's Shadowburn with just Shadowburn things. I think he busts out the Dragon Blade right here. Either way, it doesn't matter. Shadowburn, you know, he had a great performance. But EnVy, today is their day. They get another win on the board. And really in some impressive fashion. Yeah, we saw some interesting things from EnVy in this series.
Yeah, you saw a lot of just versatility in what they can do as a team. We saw Taimu on McCree, Genji, Sombra, Junkrat, 76. We saw him run so many different heroes. You see what he can bring to this squad. You know, just very good teamwork from the side of EnVy, and I don't think we should discredit FaZe as well. FaZe played tremendous throughout this series. A series a lot of people expected EnVy to dominate. FaZe made this a very close match start to finish.
Yeah, I think for FaZe, you know, it's tough to take the L, but it was still a great game. Oasis, I believe, could have gone either way, despite, you know, EnVy really showing us some interesting things there. And I'm curious to hear what the desk has to say about games 3 and 4, because there were certainly some great matches there. So Puckett, take it away, my friend.